All right, well, let's go ahead and get.
Wasn't much reported to us from last month. We did have a grand larceny on Bird Avenue. Looked like somebody removed the HVAC unit from the house. Not sure if it was new construction or being renovated, but that's the only thing that reported to us from last month, from our last meeting. We just got past spring break, which is pretty good, but we get ready to head into the summer, warmer days, more sunlight out, so foot traffic is probably going to pick up in some areas in your community, so just be mindful of that. Make sure we're securing our vehicles, make sure we're removing all firearms, anything of value out of the vehicle, but mostly, you know, we're pushing about removing firearms. You would not believe how many firearms are stolen out of cars. The people just being careless. That's what I attested to, is being careless. I heard Sheriff Lott say it the other day on one of his news conferences that your car is not a gun vault. Okay, it's not a holster. So take the time. If anybody got guns, make sure you tell them, stress to them all the time to remove them, because that's what these young adults are going out looking for. They're not busting out windows. They're putting door handles, trying to make sure that if the car is unlocked, they go inside of it. I think I've told y'all the last time, a few times before, if you carry a key fob, which most vehicles do have key fobs now, ladies, don't leave in your pocketbook, because sometimes something will shift in your pocketbook, it'll unlock your car and you won't even know it. Guys, keep in your pocket, you got other things in there, it'll do the exact same thing. So secure your key fobs where you won't unlock your cars once you go into your homes. Okay? Any questions or concerns? I did let them know that I brought 911 tonight. They're starting to come out to the community meetings to answer some of your questions about how the call center works. So I do have two individuals here that's representing them, and if you don't mind, they can come up now. Get it taken care of.
Hey.
Get the mic, and you on camera.
Oh, no. Anything you say,
Don't hold it against me. Hey, I'm Ron Clinton, y'all, from 911, I'm the new supervisor there. Been there for 8 years. We y'all our eyes, and we're there. Y'all call us, we answer the phone quick as possible. We got 911 text, admin line. If you call the 911 line and you don't answer right away, don't hang up. Just stay on the phone. We're gonna answer it. We got a lot of lines in there. If you hang up, we're gonna call you back and say, hey, this is 911. We got a phone call for this number. Everything okay? Some people say yeah, pocket dial. Some say no, and you tell what's wrong. But if you stay on the line, we're going to call you back and we'll push you back further, because they're gonna continue to get the other ones that's ringing at the same time. So they're gonna delay response getting to you. But I can get a lot of phone calls. We dispatch for EMS, fire, Clinton Police Department, and Richmond County. So we got those agencies that we cover for phone calls. EMS get a lot of calls. They run the trucks because they don't have enough personnel. So that's why your time is longer for EMS to get there. You call back, well, I called 30 minutes ago for EMS. They're coming, but just be a little patient with us. Officers, they get there quick as possible. We ask you a lot of questions because they want to know what's going on, like any weapons, the subject still there, or how long will this happen? Because their safety is our top priority as well as your safety. So they ask, all these different type of car, color, your tag, and weapons in the house.
Sharp left onto North Main Street.
While he's doing that, my name's Vanessa Miller. I've been with Columbia Richland 911 for 9 years. I am the night shift manager. Just to back off what he was saying, on an average month, we take about 80,000 calls. There's maybe 16 of us in there. We answer the calls and we're dispatching the units out. Like he said, if you guys don't feel comfortable calling us, or you can't call us because there's a suspect looking right at you, you can always text us. All you put in the text line is 911, and then you start your text message. Just tell us where you're at and what the issue is. We will text you back, but the same people who are answering the phones are also doing the texting as well. You know, the emergency line is for emergencies. Your animal complaints or noise complaints, something like that, that's for our 803-252-2911 line. That's our non-emergency line. What else?
Getting back to the question we asked you guys, they don't slow down their response time. Because it's like text. When you tell us the address, we put it in the system, and then we know what region it goes to, whether north, west, metro, south. Once the cut off on that call, they see everything typing. So if you tell them, hey, the guy went out the back door, run out the back door, they see it. They're on their way. So we ask the question, they get there as they ride in there. So they know what to look for, how to prepare themselves mentally to what might happen or might not happen. Try to keep everything on the even keel for them. So no one get injured, whether it's you, subject, or the officer. So just get, if we ask you for information, just give it to us and we'll pass it along and everything work out fine.
To the best of your building. If you don't have that information, just say I don't have it. And that's fine. That's fine, because you might have just heard shots fired, you didn't hear you didn't see a suspect, or you didn't see a vehicle or anything, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Do you guys have any questions? Oh.
Do you like shots fired, or do you want it sent to non-emergency?
Shots fired can come on 911 line, for sure, yeah.
Because maybe somebody actually shoot, you never know.
Because you could call in shots fired, and then next thing you know, we got somebody calling in for that same address where there's somebody shot. So.
Would we be better off, like sometimes you hear people shooting late at night. Is that one of those where sending in the text message as opposed to sitting on hold to answer when all I know is I'm at my house at this address and I heard a shot fired?
If you hear any gunshot going on, dial 911. You get a quicker response. You gotta wait for us to text you back. 911 is the best way to go for that. Because it could be just right in your backyard, right around the corner from you, coming your way. You don't want to sit there and text. Because we can't, you talking on the phone, maybe, okay, yes, well, he's going this way now, okay. It's quicker for us that way.
I mean, normally we just hear it.
Yeah, if you're just hearing it, yeah. I understand what you're saying. If you're just hearing it and you don't really
I have no idea if it was
Right.
north, south, east, west of my house. It's not in my backyard. It's not that loud. You just hear it.
Yeah, if that's what you choose, that's fine. You can just say, I heard shots fired, this is my address, it's not from my address, no contact, I know nothing else. And that's fine, we can update the call with
Because the
that.
police have said that helps them coordinate with.
Where it's coming, right.
Sometimes the shot spotter or whatever that thing is that doesn't.
Yeah, shots fired.
Shot spotter.
It's not exact enough, but having people triangulate.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fine.
So my understanding is that the non-emergency calls go to you also. It's just that they're at a lower priority in terms of picking up on, right?
That's true, yeah, we are gonna answer our 911 lines first. We are now fully staffed, but we do have to get them trained. So we'll be a little bit, but you'll see the call pickups faster in the near months, because we are fully staffed, so. Yes, we do
In
answer.
relation to those non-emergency calls, I've got a neighbor pretty close to me that has a dog that barks constantly. This dog, to me, it sounds like it's in distress. Who gets that, and what do they do with that? Can they do anything with that?
I don't care if it's first
Day shift?
When a dog, like I had a dog, I leave in the backyard. Dogs bark when people walk past. That's what they're supposed to do. Make sure they come. Neighbor called saying, hey, his dog barking all the time. The county came out, Richard County said, that's what his dog do. He's in his yard. He's not bothering anybody. There's nothing we can do. Now, if the dog is injured, and you think he's injured, you can say, hey, I believe this dog was injured. We'll contact Animal Control. Animal Control turn around and call you. You get them the full story, what's going on, and the Animal Control decide when they're gonna come out and check on this dog or not. They'll let you know, okay, well, we're coming out, this is what we're gonna do. That's doing normal business out. After hours, we have to page Animal Control.
and unfortunately, animal control does not respond out after hours for that.
Yeah.
They're only gonna come out if the dog is
I mean,
injured.
it's like around the clock.
Yeah, I would
If
contact
that
animal
dog's doing
control.
that, something not being treated well, I wouldn't think. I can't see it, but when I say around the clock, I mean, I don't even know how a dog could even do it without just giving out of energy at some point, but it sounds like it's in distress.
Yeah,
Could be
if you
chained up
continue
or
to keep
something.
calling animal control, I mean, enough complaints, they'll come out, cause they're gonna wanna see if it has shelter, if it has food, and
Yeah,
they'll go through the whole nine.
so animal control would come up with that, not the police.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Well, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, there's some more stores over there if you guys wanna check it out, but.
Appreciate what you do.
You're open 24/7, 7 days a week, even holidays.
See, I think, is that, yeah. So, let's see.
Sheriff?
Yeah, Sheriff's Department? Is that, you ready to talk to us? Absolutely. Fabulous.
Good evening, how y'all doing?
All right.
So I'm Messenger from Rich County Sheriff's Office. We don't have too much going on. We just want to be mindful that it is getting warmer. School will be out soon, so let's be mindful of teenagers and juveniles that's out. If you see a group of juveniles in neighborhoods, please call us. Let us come talk, figure out what's going on. A lot of our crime that's been taking place lately has been juvenile age, so we definitely want to start picking up on the trends or things that they have going on and try and stop the crime as best as possible. Again, we iterate all the time. Make sure your car's locked. If you have weapons inside your car, take them in the house. Things of that sort. We've been seeing a trend from Lexington County of vehicle thefts over there. These juveniles and some older kids as well. They're buying this thing off of Amazon where they can program a key into your yard in like 5 minutes. So if you have a push start car, they can make a key in your yard in like 5-10 minutes and drive off with your car. If they can get access into it. It's crazy because they're selling it online. Lexington County, we assisted them, and a dealership had like 6 cars stolen in like 30 minutes. So our next time come over here, I'm gonna give y'all the exact name of the item that they're using. But as long as they can get inside your car, they can plug it up and they can make a universal key, which they already have, and drive off with the car.
So they have to get in the car first.
Yes.
Has to be unlocked.
Yep. So, or they break the window and get in there, and it don't take them long. It don't take them long at all. So 5-10 minutes, they're driving off. So if your alarm don't go off, then you'll never know until you go outside and see that your vehicle is gone. So that's not a big thing right now in Richland. Like I said, I've got friends working in Lexington County, and we assisted them a couple times. So that is the thing. Just be mindful of. If you have cameras in your yard, please make sure they're working properly. Check them constantly, you know. Again, make sure your car is locked, make sure you're not leaving weapons in them. It's getting hot, temperatures getting up, temperature's gonna get up, so people are gonna be short-tempered and things are gonna escalate quicker than normal. So, other than that, Sheriff's Office is pretty good. Y'all have anything from Sheriff's Office y'all like us to bring back and talk more about, talk to our sheriff about, anything like
I
that?
have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
I saw, I guess it was next door, some commenting about there being an increase in assaults along the Broad River corridor. Is that accurate, not accurate? You don't know.
Broad River is.
Not you, it's them. Oh.
Yeah, it's the city, but it's, a lot of stuff happened on Broad River, so.
What was in the St. Andrews area, so it's not that far from us.
It's really not, I haven't seen a trend of it getting up in stats. Assaults are still assaults, they're still there. But as far as an increase, no, I haven't seen it. I like it. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Good night.
Master Chris Moore. Yes.
It's just enough to make you feel a little bit paranoid.
Yeah.
But, you know, overall, I feel pretty safe here. So, anyway, next we have our special guest for the evening, Juan Brown. What's your title?
Code enforcement supervisor of the North Region Code Enforcement Seizure.
Supervisor of the Code Enforcement North Region. Okay, and so we've had a lot of questions about code enforcement. People wondering about, cars being parked in yards and noise and other kinds of maybe questionable uses of property. So thought we would invite Juan to come and answer questions and give us a little more information. So.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Juan Brown. I'm actually the supervisor for the North Region. Just to give you guys a little short scenario of who I am. And I started with the city of Columbia 2 years ago. I actually landed this position as supervisor a year ago. I came over from the Department of Juvenile Justice. So I dealt with a lot of juveniles, different personalities. So now I'm here with you guys, and hopefully this is where I'm going to retire. Okay, just to give you guys a little update, I brought along this pamphlet. This is our top 10 code enforcement what we look for on a daily basis when we're riding through you guys' neighborhood. The first thing that we look for with it starting to warm up, like the police officer stated, overgrowth. If we actually ride your neighborhood and we notice that your grass is over 12 inches, then we're gonna write you, we're gonna actually start a case on your property. We're gonna send you out an NVCO. And what the NVCO is, that's a notice of violation. In our computer software, it actually generates the dates on when you should have this violation corrected. If you don't comply within that time frame, then we'll come back out and we're gonna issue you a summons to come to court, and we'll let the judge determine if you should pay the $470, because that's the fine for any violations with code enforcement. Normally, the judge, she actually gives you time to correct that issue when we go in front of the judge. So just a FYI. The second thing is road cards. In you guys' area, what I've noticed is not a whole lot of road cards being left out. I'm noticing maybe, like, I guess there's some college students that lives in the area, they leave theirs out sometimes with rental properties. And I have actually tagged those road cards, and I've noticed that they're putting them back whenever you guys are on your pickup day. So, not too much of that going on. Like I said, let me back up a little bit. The overgrown properties, I've seen a lot of that since the weather started to warm up. And I have actually started several cases in this neighborhood, and a lot of people, they comply, they cut the grass. I had a few calls where they called me, as of today, and said that their grass has been cut. So that's a plus. The next thing is outdoor placement. Outdoor placement is like if you have any type of indoor furniture on your porches, anything that is not outside furniture, or any type of appliances just around in the yard, tires, anything such as that. That's considered as outdoor placement. So we look for those things as well. The number 4 thing that we have on the pamphlet is peeling paint. And I'm very lenient on stuff like that when it comes down to structures, because we have to allow you time to get it corrected, because that means you have to go out and find a contractor. You will have to get an estimate. So 30 days is just not enough time for a person to get that corrected. So if you give me a call and say, well, I can't get it done at this particular time, then we will allow you time to correct it. Yes, sir.
What was number 4 again?
Peeling paint. anything flaking paint, rotten wood, on your fascia, around your windows, anything such as that, that's actually resident, structure. That would be a residential structure case. Now we're gonna go down to number 5, which is abandoned derelict vehicles. And you guys have a little bit of that going on in the neighborhood. And if you ever see one of these little stickers on your vehicle, that means it gives you 7 days you have to have it removed. That means anything, if you don't have your proper sticker on your vehicle decal for this year, we can actually place this on there, because that is actually an abandoned derelict vehicle. And the flat tires, if that vehicle is not in operable condition, we're gonna put this on there. And now they have gotten very, very strict to where we have received approval to have your vehicle towed in your yard. So we can come in and tow your vehicle. Yes, ma'am. So you can come in, as long as we follow the correct procedure, we now can tow vehicles off of private properties. And normally, roughly, it takes about 20 days for us to have that happen. So it gives the person enough time to have the vehicle removed before we come back in and have it towed. So that's something you probably want to share with your neighbors, because if they get one of these, we're coming back. And we're not gonna issue summons on that. We're just gonna have them towed out. So that's very important. Front yard parking. I don't see too much of front yard parking in you guys' neighborhood. That's just where your car. Really? Where?
Oh, yeah. Pretty common.
Yes, ma'am. So I moved into my house on Abingdon.
Okay.
In 2015.
Yes, ma'am.
That summer, I came home for lunch. Welcome South Carolina in August. I parked under the tree on the grassy area at the front of my yard because it was the only shady spot. Ran into my house for all of 20 minutes, came back out, and about a week later, I get this with pictures of my vehicle under the tree telling me I have 10 days to get rid of it. Now, of course, this letter is dated 7 days ago, so I technically have 3 days to fix the problem. And I'm like, WTF? I mean, I was parked out there for all of 20 minutes, and meanwhile, I got all these rental properties with cars all up in the yard and everything like this, so I called code enforcement. And what I was told was, well, what time do they come home? I said, well, you know, they probably get out of work at 5, because it's usually 5:15, 5:30. And he's like, well, we don't work nights and weekends. I said, so in other words, I can park under my tree or all over my front yard as much as I want, evenings and weekends, but not at lunchtime.
Okay, let me intervene on that. Because of our work schedule, but what I've started to do, because I'm here sometime 8 or 9 o'clock at night. If you call me, if you give me that property address, I'm coming out there. And they're gonna get one of these on there. Because they know, well, some people know, some they don't know, that they're not supposed to park there. I can't speak on other inspectors. I can only speak for my inspectors in my office. But 9 out of 10 is normally gonna be me that's coming out, because I'm the person that stays late all the time. So anytime you see that happening, even on the weekends, this is always on. I never turn my phone off.
I mean,
Even if you send me a text
I'm not looking
message.
to be a jerk to my neighbors. I don't like the fact that you can break these rules as long as you do it during this time frame, but during this time frame, you can't.
It shouldn't happen that way. But we have more control over it. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to actually stay a little bit later, address things that are happening after hours. Because we can't see everything during the day. You guys are our eyes and our ears. And like I say, if you see this, snap a photo of it, send it to this phone, and I'll stay late and I'll come out and get that resolved. Yes, sir.
So, I'm guilty of doing that. I won't tell you my address. But I do plan on putting in a parking slab in front of my house,
Okay.
attaching to my driveway.
Yes, sir.
So as long as I've built that, now I'm no longer in my front yard, is that right?
That's correct. But make sure before you do that, make sure you contact zoning to make sure that is approved. So anytime, if you feel you need to park in your front yard, if it's closer to your door, you can actually use gravel, straw, mulch, any wood chips, any of that stuff. That just shows us that this is your designated parking area. And we cannot issue a case, start a case on that or issue a summons. And a lot of people, they don't know that.
So the
Yes.
901 Johnson Avenue, what was that, Johnson Avenue?
That's one of the ones that you sent to me.
I'm just asking about that 901 that Johnson Avenue, they're still parking in the front line. Have you checked into that?
If that was on the list that you sent to me, no, okay, send me that address and I'll check on that one.
Yeah, I don't like the address that I sent them something. 'Cause I don't
Okay.
send anything.
Okay.
I only report what the community does.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I don't want anyone to identify me as the one who.
Perfect, and I totally understand, I understand that. So if you can, if you can send me an email, if you can send me an email with that address, I will definitely address it.
I should will.
Give us that again.
Yes, ma'am, it's D as in Don, it's actually my first name.
Thank you.
Yes.
Could you repeat her concern? Janie's concern, she just had a,
Oh, yes, sir, I sure will.
Yeah.
It's my first name, dot Brown, columbiasc.gov. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, sorry, sir. Ms. Janie actually stated that, there is a vehicle that is parked on Johnson Avenue that we need to go out and, investigate to make sure that they're not parking on there in the front yard. So,
and did she say something about anonymous?
yes.
Was that the concern, was reporting it anonymously?
Anytime you report something to me, I'm not gonna go and tell that person, well, this person said
Okay,
this, or that person, we can't do that.
good.
That's a privacy act.
Okay.
So anytime you are, I could say the president or someone from the community, because I just had one that was sent over to me, and it was a neighbor that actually contacted me, and I was like, oh, I can't tell you who told me. It was just a neighborhood, or I could say I was actually riding in the neighborhood and I noticed it. And then that'll keep you from being connected to anything. So,
Well, I suppose if we gave you an address and you rode by to see it, then it would be you
yes.
that discovered
They
it.
can come and confront me about it.
Yeah,
So,
I would never have you guys placed in danger, because you never know what a person's thinking.
so I think we're up to number 6 now.
Yes.
Okay, oh, sorry.
Oh, yes, ma'am, sorry about that.
Does that include like, family events, parties, parking on the grass that is? Like sometimes you need space, for parking because you have a bunch of people.
If you're having a party, I think that's a little bit different than you being there every day. If it's just an event you're having and you just don't have the space to park, I mean,
But that's every day what you're speaking.
that's just a one-time thing. That's not a everyday thing. So that, I don't think you would be held accountable for that. Or you can call us and say, I'm having a party this day, and say, for instance, someone calls and said that you had guest parking, then we can explain to them, tell them what's going on. Do we have any additional questions on, yes, ma'am?
Enforcement drive around in their neighborhood, in their designated neighborhoods every day?
No.
Cause I'm wondering, if they ride around a lot of days, they could see themselves with like overgrown yards, they can see themselves.
Yeah, but it's not an everyday thing, but it's an every week thing.
So where do they go besides?
We have different areas. We cover, well, North Region is from Harbison to Farrow Road.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yes. So we have different neighborhoods that we have to go in. Actually, I have 4 inspectors under me, and each of those inspectors has their designated area. And there's different neighborhoods within that area that they have to attend to. But basically, they're supposed to be in that neighborhood once a week, maybe twice a week. And then that's where I come in and I back them up and I ride those neighborhoods as well.
But I'm thinking if they go in that neighborhood once a week, they should be able to see.
Yes, because I see a
And
lot.
I do it, and then they don't see.
Okay. And it could be that well, actually, I'm the supervisor, but I took over Mr. Jonathan Harris. This is, you guys' neighborhood is actually his designated area. But he's been out on medical leave, so I took over his area. So I'm trying to, like, go in all these areas because he works from North Main to Harbison. So I'm helping him out because his is so widely spread. So anything that he actually missed, I try to catch. So he's in Earlwood Park, he has Earlwood Park, Keenan Terrace, you guys. He has Monticello, he has 3 out in Harbison, in the Irma area, like, because that is considered a city as well. So whatever he doesn't get, then I'll actually pick up, because some of the other inspectors, their area is not as large as this one. So, when he gets back, I actually want him to come in to the next meeting so that you guys can address some of the issues to him. And then him and I, we will tag team together to try to get the neighborhood back up to par. Yes, ma'am.
I do have a question I was gonna ask at the end, but talking about overgrown yards, I am turning my front yard into mainly pollinator.
Okay.
I do have some grass in the front and then obviously the grass in the back. I purposefully allow, like right now, the dandelion flowers, which do grow knee-high-ish.
Yes.
My grass itself is maybe this high.
Yes, ma'am.
But I allow them to bud to help feed the pollinators. And yet, I got last year written up by code enforcement, who actually went into my backyard to take pictures as well as my front yard. And again, by the time I got the letter, 8 days later, I had 2 days to resolve. But how does that work? I mean, are you judging me based on the grass or based on the flowering? I guess everyone's calling it a weed.
And a lot of people, they don't know the difference. So with yours, he can come in there and he can look at it and say, oh, but he doesn't know the difference. So that's where you will come in and you will explain this to him and let him know what's going on with your problem. But it's not supposed to be over 12 inches.
Even the flowering.
If it's a flower, then we have no control of that, just weeds.
Well, that's technically a dandelion to some people is a weed.
Yeah.
But it's also
So,
a plant.
That's a question. That's a question that I would have to speak with my supervisor in regards to and get back with you on. Because I don't wanna tell you that you're gonna start a case on that. Then I don't have the answer to that, but I will find that answer out.
I had a related question actually, and was gonna hold it to the end as well. And that is that we do have some people in the neighborhood who have put up signs in their yard that say that this is a pollinator-friendly yard, and that particularly in April, they a lot of times let the grass grow so that they don't disturb the bees and other things that might be living in there that are still waking up from the winter.
Absolutely.
So that's something where, especially if there's, somebody's put a sign out that says this is that's a little different than just letting things go. But one thing I was gonna mention is that the city council, the Health, Social, and Environmental Affairs Committee is currently considering a proposed no-mow April and May ordinance.
Okay.
And once that happens, you'll be able to buy a permit to have, to let your grass grow for a couple of months before you have to cut it.
And
So-
also, I had a gentleman, but if you let me know, then we know what's going on at your property. Cause I had another gentleman that lives in you guys' area, he actually stopped me, and he explained the situation to me, so I was like, okay, thank you so much, now I know. So,
I mean, I actually seriously considered like going out buying a sign to say this.
and that could help, that would actually help, but if you actually give us your address, then we know what to expect. And then I can pass that along to the inspector. Yes, sir.
Does code enforcement apply to both the front yard and the backyard?
Anything that we can see from street view. That means that we can see your backyard, anything back there that is a whole violation, we can write it up. Yes, sir.
Now, a lot of this, from what I found, a lot of the problems we have with what we're talking about is rental properties.
Yes, sir.
Now, who is responsible when the yard's overgrown? Is it the person that actually lives there, or is it the person who owns it?
It depends on the lease. It depends on the lease, and how I look at it and what was told to me is it's the owner. It's not the tenant, because it's the owner's responsibility to speak with their tenant, to let their tenant know that this grass has to be cut.
Okay.
If it's
Now,
if it's in the lease.
another, related to that, I have two properties in my neighborhood that they're repeat offenders. I don't care how many times I call, and you guys do go out and ask to do it, but they're not gonna mow that lawn unless I call. Over and over and over. There's nothing that can stop that from.
We can issue a summons
Yeah, I
to
mean,
them, because, actually, they're a repeat offender.
yeah, they are.
And it's something that is ongoing, we're coming out, if you're calling more than 3 times, then the next step is to issue a summons to them.
They're not gonna cut it unless you guys,
Is it the
probably I'm gonna
tenant
call,
or the
you're
owner?
gonna nudge them, they're gonna cut it. They're not gonna cut it again until you do it again.
Is it the owner, or is this?
Well, I saw the owner out there a couple weeks ago. He saw it. Nothing's happened.
Okay, so, what I do is, I'll get with you, and you get me that address.
Yeah.
And what I'll look at how many times you have called in, and how many times we have addressed that issue, and then we can get a summons.
Nope.
Cause see, this is how, we're not gonna start a case, we'll just issue them a summons.
Yeah.
And with summons, we have to place it in that person's hands, we can't put it on the doors, or we can't. So, that's just FYI, and going forward, we do now have a process server for code enforcement, so any owner that is out of town, then that process server will serve that. So
I think it's the old saying is they can't see it from their house. The people who own it.
Yeah, and that,
They can't.
and we get a lot of that.
Don't care.
We get a lot of that, but once we start pointing, cause they're very big on pointing that, landlord, and if they get so many, then they lose their rental so that's another thing as well.
I mean, you guys have been helpful in the past with this, right?
Yeah, but we want everyone to be on one accord, so where you don't have to keep calling
Right.
and letting us know that this needs to be.
I don't want to harass them.
Oh, no,
No,
you're
you
not
don't.
harassing, that's our job, that's what we're.
No, I don't mean you. I mean, I don't want to harass my
That's
neighbor.
our job to harass them.
But, I mean.
Mow your lawn.
We can get that, we'll try to get it corrected.
Yeah.
Maybe if we start issuing summons to those repeat offenders, maybe we can do that.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
I'll
Thank
get
you.
with you in regards to that. This, number 7 is if you have a house that is in extreme disrepair.
Oh, yeah.
It's what?
In disrepair. And I see a lot of that. Actually, I have one now in Summerlea.
Yeah.
Yes, I have that on the demo list. I did spoke with Mr. David in regards to that. So it's on our list. We just working our list because there are so many houses that we have to demo. So hopefully, we're gonna try to keep our fingers crossed and hope that it will be soon for that to get out of here. All the paperwork and files has been turned in, because I actually completed that file. Yes, sir.
There's a piece of property in that category, it's right at the corner of Monticello and Elliott Avenue, right beside our high school.
The brown property.
Brown property, it's been empty for I don't know how long. You wouldn't
Mike-
see that next to AC Floor or Dreer. We don't need it next to our high school either. It's terrible.
And it's always severely overgrown. There's, I guess people place their yard debris over there, in front of that property. I know our commercial inspector, he actually rolled that property up on numerous occasions, and he actually started a demo on that one. But what I would have to do is check with them, because that's on the commercial side, because he rolled that property up on the demo side, so I can find that out for you.
Is it condemned? I see, I haven't gone and read them, but somebody's put.
Michael Lynn,
Yeah.
that's the person that actually.
We just don't need that next to our high school.
And I know that we have had that on numerous occasions. A lot of people were inquiring on that property on demos, on when it was gonna actually get demoed. So that's a question I would have to ask Mr. Davis. Because that, I didn't actually start that demo, Ms. Michael Lynn did. So I'll check on that for you. Yes, sir.
So it sounds like you all wind up demolishing these houses, it doesn't fall on the owners?
Actually, we put a lien on the property whenever they done, if the owner doesn't sign the consent, we put a lien on that property. And in order for them to, gain that property back, they have to get that lien on through the city. But if they sign a consent, then we demo it without any cost to them.
How much time they have to pay the lien off?
Sir,
How much time do they have to pay the lien off?
that I don't know. That's something I can't answer. I don't know if they will place that person on the payment plan, or if that's something they will have to pay us for. But I know whenever we do a demo and no consent has been, signed, we will place a lien on that property. Yes, ma'am.
So once they pay it off, don't they have to have it occupied? Because he said it's been unoccupied.
No, not if it's demo. If it's not, that property is
It's a
gone.
big
They
lot.
pay the lien on it. Let's say they pay the lien.
If they pay the lien, if they have to, actually keep the upkeep of that property, like keep it, the grass cut.
Whether it's vacant or
Yes, because it's a vacant lot at this point.
It's vacant lot, they done tore the house
So
down.
the upkeep has to be kept.
They done tore the house down. When they put the lien on, they done tore the house
Okay, the next thing is, number 8 is premise identification.
Is what?
Premise identification, that's a
Premises?
PID, that's the number on your property. It could be on your mailbox, but we also, want you to have that number placed on your house. That's just for emergency purposes. Say for instance, someone gets sick, that EMS can locate your property immediately instead of trying to locate, because sometimes when we're out there, it's hard for us to identify property, because there's not a PID. So that's something that we actually, start cases on as well, that's a violation. The next thing is right of way, you guys have a lot of that too, that's where cars are parked right away of the streets, blocking the streets, or there's, and we have a lot of illegal dumping in the city. Yes, sir.
What about sidewalk parking?
We have no control of sidewalk parking. That was one of the issues that came up. One of my guys, he rolled everybody in the neighborhood up because they were parked on the sidewalk. But we had to come back in and apologize because there's not an ordinance states that you cannot park on your sidewalk.
So I can't park in my own yard.
You were parking on the sidewalk.
Because if you,
If only you had
there's
a
a lot of
sidewalk.
people in Columbia that doesn't have parks. Like if you go downtown, they have no choice but to park on the streets or near the sidewalk. Because they don't have a designated park in their yards. So that, I'm assuming that's why our ordinance haven't been put in place yet. I don't know, that's a little bit above my pay grade, so I don't know why there's not one. But, if you guys, and back to right-of-way part, the right-of-way, if you guys notice any illegal dumping in your area, please let me know. Because that's where we will have to contact solid waste and have solid waste come and pick that up.
What some of that is?
Yes, sir,
Does that include tires?
yes. Code enforcement picks up tires.
Sorry?
Code enforcement picks up tires.
How about hundreds of tires?
No.
I mean,
If it's more than 4,
I mean, will you report it?
Yes, we will call solid waste to pick that up, or we will actually have our crew from code enforcement come to pick those tires up for us. What, picking up tires? No.
They never picked up tires when we called them for it. That's not something that's not something that our industry does. Kids are still at home, they don't pick up tires.
They're gonna tell you that and then throw it back over to code enforcement. And then that's when Mr. Daly have to actually get involved. Because we actually had one in one of the neighborhoods, we had over 1,000 tires. And we find those, we actually installed cameras and we wrote them summons and took them to court. And we actually asked for jail time, but the judge, she didn't give them jail time, she just gave them a healthy fine. Yes.
That includes the backyard.
What, tires in the backyard? No, we can't go in no one's
Can't go in the
backyard.
backyard.
No,
What if they're visible from the street?
we still can't go in the backyard unless, only time we can enter a backyard is we're invited into that backyard. Or if a neighbor's wanting us to come in their backyard and take pictures, but if we're not invited in that backyard, we cannot go in the backyard.
Public health risks, it's water pools and fires.
Yeah, it creates mosquitoes, it's breeding, it's, because now it's starting the season for mosquitoes, it breeds mosquitoes as well.
So if they have that public health risk in their backyard, you can't go in.
We can't go in no one's backyard, no. Now, we can go in your backyard and take pictures and send them a notice, but as far as us going in the back, we cannot, that's a big no-no for us. We cannot enter no one's backyard unless they give us permission.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
but that's the 10. Thank you guys so much, and I'm gonna leave these brochures for you guys to take one, and you can read up on. Thank you so much for having me, and sorry I took up so much of your time.
Listen, you know, there were lots of questions, and I'm glad we had a chance to do it.
Thank you.
Oh, you want to cover? I have plenty. Anyone
Yes.
else?
Well, we have just a little bit of time left before the end of the hour, and I don't want to keep everybody too late. So, do you have things for us?
Always have things.
She
I left my other meeting and I said, you all cannot hold me any longer. I have to go to Hyatt Park, Keenan Terrace. I have to.
Always on this. That's everything I'm gonna talk about.
It's always good to see you all, and I will give you all this information if you would like to have it. Going back to something that Robert Anderson has stressed is trying to make our shelter a no-kill shelter. So one of the ways that we can do that is have people adopt our various animals. This coming Sunday, we're having a kitty shower. I'll give you the information, the things that are needed, and the wish list for the multiple kittens that we have at the shelter. This week is Spring Fling, so you may adopt a cat or a dog, all pets, or $20. This week is Youth Violence Prevention Week, and Trevon Fordham isn't here this week, so on his behalf, I would like to give you all the information, what the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. You started out this week wearing orange, so orange is the color that signifies that they have identified for youth violence prevention. So each day they're having an event. Any children that you are aware of to come out. On tomorrow is the City of Columbia Annual Career Fair at the Convention Center. So if you know someone who graduated in December, or someone who will be graduating in May, or someone who wants a career change, the City of Columbia Annual Career Fair will be at the Convention Center tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please come out. On-the-spot interviews will be held. And lastly, this week is Community Development Week, and they're going to end it with a big block party on Friday. So come out to the block party. It will be in the REI parking lot, right there by the Starbucks, from noon until 3. Various departments besides community development will be out. So once again, just a little bit of information of some happenings in the city of Columbia this week, but it's always, always a pleasure to be here with you all. Do you all have any questions or concerns for me, anything that needs to be taken back to the city? Yes, sir.
Did you say the shelter, animal shelter, is there the only one on Shop Road?
That's the one, yes, sir. Yes. In the parking lot of REI right by the Starbucks on Bull Street? Yes, ma'am. Right across there, Columbia Drive, apartment number 11. Yes, ma'am. That's where it'll be in that big old parking lot. Yes. Oh, I thought you had a question, sir. No? Oh, no. You have a question? Oh. Yes. Oh, all right. Tomorrow, social emotional learning peer pressure workshop will be held at Dreher High School. On Wednesday, there's an anti-bullying workshop that will be here at the Eau Claire Print Building from 5 to 7. Chemistry, wellness, and peace will be hosting that. Thursday, there is a social emotional learning conflict resolution workshop at Haywood Gibbs Middle School. And then on the 26th, right across the street at Hyatt Park, is the Artistic Expression Art Day 2 in collaboration with Parks and Recreation. So that'll be from 10 to 2. But those are the various things that I'll give this to you. That's what they got this week for engagement. Thank you.
Thank you. And I can't resist saying right now, as you know, some of you know, I have another hat, which is participating on the city's Climate Advisory Council, or committee. And we are planning what I hope is going to turn out to be the biggest Earth Day event in the last 5 or more years. So that will be taking place on Boyd Plaza, which is the beautiful plaza in front of the Art Museum, at exactly the same time as the Soda City Market on Saturday, the 26th. So we got coffee coming. We got mascots, we got face painting, we got stuff for kids, we got stuff for adults. It's gonna be fun. I hope everybody comes. I'm working on maybe doing something with some like synchronized recycle roll carts, you know, something. So anyway, who knows what's gonna happen? So that just to extend what we've been hearing about. Other things going on this week. And it is Earth Day tomorrow, so just something to think about. Let's see. Michelle, do you have stuff for us?
Well, I'll speak quick. I don't have much because Jamaica's not here, so I'm just filling in again. But I just wanted to say, we appreciate the volunteers who helped us with our annual Easter egg roll. It was a success, and it was. Can't wait till next year. And also, I want to thank this for you all inviting the CIU women's soccer team to help us clean out our concession stand. They did a terrific job. They had me sweating. And then they did the bean pollen area. That was perfect. And then I showed my appreciation by attending their soccer game. They were so excited to see me. And I showed my, yay! I had my little pom-poms ready. Yeah. But, and people were wondering with all those cars over there, we have line dancing on Monday nights. And it's huge. They park over here too. So that's why all those cars are across the street tonight. Oh, Monday nights. Oh, yeah. So that was,
yeah.
Michelle,
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
a question. We, I think it was last month, voted to support 2 kids for the summer camp.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know how do we proceed with that? Should we just talk to people? Do you have any children in mind who need
help, in terms of paying the fee for the camp, or?
Well, I'll let Jamaica determine all that, because she's our leader,
Right.
and I'll let her determine that. I'll support whatever decision she makes.
Okay, well, I'll try.
But my son needs swim lessons, I'm just saying, I don't know. I just threw that out there, but I don't know, anybody else got any questions? No. But I think that's all for me.
I'm sorry, it's one thing I just wanted to inform you guys about where your guys' sign is located. It is the neighborhood's responsibility to cut around that sign.
Are you talking about the Keenan Terrace sign
Yes,
at
the
the
one
corner of Abingdon and Sunset?
Yeah. So it is the community responsibility.
Okay.
But it's just around your sign, not that entire area, just your sign area.
All right, well, that's information we didn't have before.
That's true. And that's private property.
So how long do we have to do that before you write us up?
I'm not gonna write you guys. But that's just something that, you guys need to know going forward, that is your responsibility.
We were concerned the owners wouldn't allow it.
Ma'am,
We were concerned the owners wouldn't allow it.
I'm gonna save that, my comment. Okay.
I think that's private property, like Betsy said, so we brought that up before.
Yeah.
We're not sure what we can do, because
Because of the, you think
somebody
it's
owns
private
that
property?
property.
It is private.
Okay, so, basically, what you would have to do is, I'm not telling you guys to move that sign, because if they come in and they say, well, this is my property, you need to move this, because without.
Yeah.
So we need to build a relationship with the owners and.
Or move the sign.
It's an
Probably we should move the
Yeah,
sign.
it's an Airbnb, but the owner is actually located in.
Oh, nice.
So in other words, they probably wouldn't care
Right.
if we did. But, you know, I've often thought that if we moved it across the street to the other side of Abingdon, it would be more visible than it is right now
And
anyway.
that's
So,
shining now.
so I don't know if that would be any easier to get permission there, but it does seem like it would be a better location for the sign.
But that's also private property.
Right.
Yeah, but you can get,
You kids get out of
go
my
down.
That's right.
And they will have to sign a document and have it notarized that is okay for them. And then you guys don't have to worry about someone coming in and saying, oh, we need you to move it, even if that property is sold. Because you have documentation.
All right, well.
Do most, neighborhoods around town that have these signs, are they on private property? Do you know?
A lot of them, yeah,
Do they have the similar problems?
they don't know. If it's not addressed, well, with the cutting around the signs, then we actually are starting now to address that. But if they don't know that it's private property and it wasn't actually, they don't have the proper paperwork,
Yeah.
we will have to address that to them. And it's pretty much the only time they're asking about their sign.
I see.
So that's something I wanted to share with you guys. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank you.
having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we've got a lot to go through. We may not get through everything before we all run out of energy. So let's see if I can parse through a little bit of this and figure out what's most important for us to talk about. Let's see, a couple of things. One is that from the end of July, we've just been informed, from the end of July to the end of September, this building is going to be closed for renovations. And so that means that we are going to have to move our meetings to somewhere else. And that could be the Keenan House, it could be the Busby Street Center, which is pretty far away. I don't think we'd want to do that. I'm just telling you the options, I'm not telling you. Let's see, there's,
We've met at the Keenan House before.
yeah,
Neighborhood center.
there's also possibly the Earlwood Community Center. Or another possibility would be maybe the Moss Center, you know, so.
Bob, I just want to tell you, the last time that we modeled for this, you working here, we moved the, meeting to the,
Oh, right, 'cause there's a little-
Yeah, we did.
The little one over there, yeah.
That's where we had the meeting the last time that we modeled the building.
Okay.
Where was
So that
Right over here,
is-
the next building over.
Yeah, it's a.
Right underneath the clock.
On the corner.
It's a smaller room, but
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's very close by, so.
We've met up here at Keenan House before. It's been a good many years ago.
A little more intimate. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's, I'll look into that and see if we can get that space over there. And if not, I'll bring it back to us. We've got a couple of months to figure it out.
Makes no sense.
What's that?
Right here.
Yeah.
No, no, if you can't do that, that Keenan House seems like it would make the most sense.
Yeah, we've done it, we've done it in both locations.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will, I'll see what we can find out about the, I know that conference room has a name.
Yeah.
Tompkins?
Hopkins Manley.
Hopkins Manley room. Okay. All right, yeah, we'll look into that and see what we can find out. Just wanted to let you know that there is movement, I think, on the naming of a portion of North Main Street for Sam Davis. We've been in discussion with Tina Herbert and some other folks about that. Robert Anderson has some thoughts about sort of logistics about where things can go, and so we're continuing to think that out. Some folks were suggesting that it be farther, what is that, south from here, up by where River Drive peels off from North Main, and I didn't feel that would be nearly as appropriate as having it right here by the park, which I think, you know, we want to see, we want to claim Sam Davis for our own. We want him close to the park, because he put a lot of effort into making, you know, bringing it to the state that it's in now. So, so there's that. Everybody knows the Sunset Drive sidewalk project. The road is open now, but they will be having lots of one-lane closures until they finish the sidewalk. So it's going to be kind of partially open for the next couple months. And it's scheduled to be completed by the middle of June. And I you know, we'll see. Hope they do. But there's sort of a downside to that too, which is that as soon as that gets done, then they start on the railroad bridge on River Drive. And so that means that River Drive is going to be closed for a year or two. And what that means is all that traffic that would go down River Drive is going to have to be rerouted up North Main and then over on Sunset. So it's, I think it's still going to be messy for a while. Yeah.
I'm already seeing more traffic on Abingdon. I'm wondering if there's ever been discussion of putting speed bumps on Abingdon.
Yeah.
Yes, for
Yeah,
years.
and you know, I think that could be a good thing. I talked to the mayor, I don't know, it must have been a year or two ago, about doing something about slowing traffic on Abingdon. And he said that, you know, one of the kind of difficulties a lot of times is the fire department comes in and says, no, we gotta have clear roads so we can run our emergency vehicles up and down. And you know, and that's a concern. The mayor was telling me he you'd seen something where they have these new speed bumps that are made of some kind of a compressible material that when a big heavy truck goes over it, it collapses. But when a lighter car goes over it, it stays up. So there may be some possibilities for innovative ways of slowing the traffic down there.
What about a stop sign about halfway down?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long road.
It is a
you know,
long road.
without any
And it's-
stops. That's
and
the
it's
problem.
downhill. And I think people just, a lot of times they don't even realize how fast they're going.
Yeah, from Duke to Sunset, no stop sign.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another possibility. So I believe that road is owned by DOT.
Yeah.
So what that means is that we gotta talk to DOT, not street engineering in the city. And they have traditionally been less concerned about slowing traffic than the city. But, you know, they're changing too, they're getting a little better.
Westwood might be a good place just because of the school.
Mhm.
So there's a logical reason for it,
Yeah.
other than that people drive 60 miles an hour.
Well, you know, I'd put one on every corner. Okay, so that's going to be, yeah, I think that's going to be an issue as the traffic gets going, particularly on Sunset there. Membership committee, I just wanted to ask, Ty has been sort of the one-man membership committee for a while, and so I want to just put the word out there that if there's anybody interested in kind of helping the neighborhood association, you know, increase the membership and maybe reach out to more of our neighbors, that would be really great. So just putting that word out. We've got a number of other committees. We've got $6,577.13 in the bank account as of today. So that's the treasurer's report. Let's see, we don't have a National Night Out Committee report. Anything from you, Ms. Jane?
No, not really. Yeah, just getting ready.
Okay, yeah. And I just wanted to shout out, besides the women's soccer team from Columbia International University that did all that wonderful work, they mulched the pollinator garden and cleaned out the concession stand and did a quick run around the park, picking up litter. They were terrific. In addition to that, our own Megan Kota organized a litter pickup in the neighborhood on the 5th, and we had probably 8 or 10 people picking up litter all over the neighborhood. So thank you to her for organizing that, and thank you to everybody who came and helped with that. And I think anything else we got a couple of hands up.
The seminary.
The seminary, I don't have an update on that, but I appreciate your giving me a nudge on that,
It's a big property, and they also own a lot of the property, the houses around it.
Right.
And
so we
just really concerned whose hands that's gonna fall in. It could be very impactful on our neighborhood, in a positive way or not so.
Yeah.
So just hope everybody kind of in tune to that, what's going on there, 'cause they are leaving.
Yes, so thanks for reminding me about that earlier, and I will follow up on it. Yeah, and Betsy.
I wanted to thank Parks. I just noticed with the playground there, the park is being used a lot more. It's really great to see, and I thanked Kenya Bryant. It never hurts to thank people, you know, because we pressed for that for a long time. And I have a request for the pollinator garden. We've always wanted to have tags on the plants so people want to know what is that plant. And Ellen found some really nice plant markers you can send off for them and tell them the names of the plant. And they're permanent. They cost about $4 a piece. So I wanted to put in a request to spend up to $100 to buy, I don't know how many, it won't be
25.
but I just thought I'd put that out there. Just to buy some markers for the pollinator garden. I want to make a motion that we approve that.
Okay,
Second.
I think we got plenty of seconds.
All right, thank you.
Any other discussion on that? All right, sounds like,
We replenish our soil, garden soil, and everything we need for pollinator, we
Right.
replenish that. And I just want to request that. I don't know whether we get the card or a check or how we do it, but I'll get with you on that.
okay, yeah.
Make a motion that we agree on that too.
Yeah, it seems to me that we've got money in the budget already for
Yeah, we
the
do.
soil and stuff, so I don't know that we need to authorize that. But
That storage shed.
it's fixed, it's new, it's gorgeous. You gotta go over and check it out. It's,
What store is she?
yeah.
The concession stand?
No.
Oh, in the garden.
Yeah, the old plastic one blew over in the Helene. And then the city replaced it with a nice sturdy wooden one, and it's really nice looking, and you should go over and check it out. So hearing no objections, we'll go ahead and authorize the.
We got a visitor here tonight with her grandchildren. Miss Karen. She said she wants to join the association.
Right. And who are your grandchildren here?
This is, do you want to introduce yourself? What's your name? Stella. This is Elijah. How old are you?
All right.
Elijah?
Say hello. Okay, this is, go ahead.
Can't hear you, baby.
Speak up.
Oh, six.
Hey. So what's your name?
Right, well.
And Ezekiel.
Nice meeting y'all. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming.
Appreciate you taking the T-ball.
Yeah. And would you
Please
like
leave
to?
your email so that we can add you to the email.
Okay, will do. And I'm Karen McDaniel.
Hey, Karen.
I live near, Abington. I live off of Wild. Yeah.
Great.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Bring your friends and neighbors.
And this person over here, who I only know as Mona's mom, is here.
I'm from Wisconsin, we say near Milwaukee, right between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Yeah. And your
I haven't
name?
been down here for a few years, but otherwise I was coming about 3 or 4 times a year before.
And your name?
Mercedes.
Mercedes, cool.
I got
My-
a car. I don't
Gotcha.
know- I don't belong to it, they just all own it.
My mother grew up in Milwaukee, so, my mother grew up in Milwaukee, so my ears always perk up with.
Well, this has the flavor of actually northern Wisconsin, the soil topography, the city here. I tell people, especially northern Wisconsin, because we have a lot of plains and a lot of sandy soil, mixed soil. And that is northern Wisconsin, trees anywhere from middle Wisconsin up.
welcome, and thanks for coming. So, all right, I think,
Approval of the minutes and.
oh yeah, we didn't approve the minutes, did we?
Potholes.
Potholes, do you want to talk about potholes for a second?
Something came out, I don't know, I briefly saw it, about the DOT looking for addresses of potholes, on their roads, which we all know we have. And I was hoping someone would offer to collect that data so that we could submit it all at once, or just either. Because I don't know, I know what's right around my house, I have no idea what's in the rest of the neighborhood.
So,
Anyone know of any potholes in there?
Well, there's those three little ones that are approaching the intersection when you're on Sunset.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're coming down the newly opened section and here's Abingdon, there's like 3 spots right in the road, you have to kind of swerve around.
Yeah, I figured out how to dodge them now.
Oh, that's still there, I've stopped seeing it. I know there's one in front of Ellen's house, and one in front of our neighbor's house, and there's another one on Summer, maybe a little further up. So there's 3 on Summer.
Is,
Well, let's see
is
if
there
we
a
can
way
figure out-
we could send addresses to an email?
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I mean,
President.
if you want to send them to the HPKT president,
I don't have one. HPKT secretary.
you know, we could create one.
You could, please no.
Tell the email address. It's hpkt.president. See, his handwriting is so much better than mine.
I was just thinking it'd be
I
helpful
think we
to
should
get
be
this all
voted
together.
the official whiteboard guy at gmail.com.
It's all this worrying about where people park and how high their yard is, when we've got great big huge potholes that are gonna, you know, destroy your car.
Well, at least they slow people down.
Like, I can
Yeah,
learn this
ruthless
over
when it
the
comes to cars.
cars.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order before we, oh yes, any concerns or, for those of you who had a chance to look at the minutes from last time, are there any corrections or whatever? Okay, then, thank you, yeah. And so, all right, we've got a motion and a second. I see no objections, so we're just gonna go with it. So, anything else before we close up shop?
I just have a question, is there a way to get the recording, or is that just yours?
No, I'll give you that.
Yes, sir.
Has anybody been adding email addresses to our master list?
I have not started yet.
How about prior to you?
I did, I had it all up to date as of, February.
Of this year? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I understood they weren't being added, but that's good.
It was a lie. Actually, it wasn't a lie. I didn't know that I was supposed to be doing it until February, and so I quit and got it updated.
Yeah.
Handed it over to Deb.
Okay.
So hopefully if you haven't been getting, or if you know somebody who hasn't been getting notices, they should start getting them, or they should have started to get them in the last month or two. And if they aren't, let us know. So, okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have a comment as a guest and as just a visitor. Number one, this is speak loud enough for all of us to hear. Clearly, because we're hearing from us. Yes, you can go very, that's true. I'm one of these 80-some person
And so, for some reason, I noticed my hearing doesn't hear as well as it used to. And the mic is there, but everybody's talking over here. Like the mic is there, and nobody wants to do it.
All right.
And enunciate so we can hear.
All right.
So, I mean, fine, like, I'm projecting, but that's because I had to have the moves and trying to say, yes, you can do it forever.
Good point. Yeah, I just thought I was probably being too loud. So if I'm not being loud enough, that's useful feedback.
You said it, but if you say